how's it going? Stout Man coming back at you, and today I'm going to be talking to you about some things that I picked up, let's see, from Amazon. Yeah, but all of them are from Amazon, but one of them was one that I got like from a other seller, not directly from Amazon, you know, not through Amazon Prime or anything. The other two were from Amazon Prime, more or less. And it's definitely a strange selection, I would say. There's nothing about it that's like, you know, makes sense. I don't even know what I'm going to title this because honestly, there's no way to like, there's nothing that connects them. I can't say, like, it's not all animated, it's not all this, it's not all that. So, I don't know. Whatever I decide to do, I did want to talk about them because I was very happy with the deals that I got, obviously. But I was also very happy to get some of these in my collection. I've been waiting for quite some time to get them. And now I can finally do that. Now I finally have them in my collection. Without further ado, I'll go ahead and talk about the first one I got, which was actually the one that was from another seller, third-party seller, whatever, on Amazon, you know what I mean? You go into the used or section or whatever, and they have also like a new section and a used section, but you have to go beyond the front page, you know what I mean? You have to go a little bit deeper into the listing and see for yourself what it's about. I was actually informed by Camel. For those who don't know what that is, definitely look at it. It's pretty cool. It's a price tracker for Amazon. It'll let you know if whatever you're looking to get on Amazon has gone down in price immediately after it does. So Camel sent me a notification saying this had gone down to like a ridiculously low price, and I'm like, clearly somebody had to have made a mistake there because this is just not something that ever goes down in price, especially not in the US because it is a foreign release. So a little odd. But I went ahead and took a chance on it because the seller had really good ratings, and I double checked to make sure that there weren't like recent ratings that were just terrible or something like that. Because sometimes people will start to quote unquote sell things with a username on Amazon that isn't theirs. You know what I mean? They'll take that information, they'll use it to sell things that they don't actually have, take the money and run, essentially. You know what I mean? So I wanted to double check that and made sure there were no negative ratings, or there were very few negative ratings recently. So with that in mind, I said, alright, I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot. I don't normally do stuff like this, especially with something like this, because it came in like collector's packaging, so I'm just like, I am so worried that that's going to arrive damaged as hell. Thankfully it didn't. It's in pretty good condition, and for the deal that I got, I'm happy with it. So here it is. I finally got Cocoon. This is something that's been kind of like, I haven't been able to find it ever. Like, first of all, I don't believe it ever got a US release. It may have, but if it ever did, it's like long out of print and never brought back into print. But I don't think it ever did get a US release. I think this was only in the UK, and I guess a few years ago they put this steelbook out here, and you can see it has like the backing and everything on there. It even came with that, yeah. And it's in pretty dang good condition. I wish they would have released this in the US, but they didn't. So, or if they did, it hasn't been available. So, you know, this is a movie that I remembered liking a lot when I was a kid, and I really wanted to see it again, but it's one of those that's like never on Netflix, it's never on Amazon, it's never on any service anymore. I just never see this. I don't even see this on cable anymore. They just don't show this movie anywhere. I can't even find it on DVD anywhere, usually, so honestly I can't remember if I've ever seen the DVD release of this. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what the deal is with how impossible it has become to find this movie, but they had it in the UK. I was going to get it on Amazon.co.uk for a halfway decent price at some point, but it ended up being a better deal to just get it through Amazon.com from a seller who I think is from the UK, who was selling on Amazon.com, and they were selling this for a very good price. It came to a total of $9.97 to ship this. Like, that's the entire price to ship this to my house. So, yeah, great freaking deal there, especially for a steelbook. Steelbooks, typically I will pay $10 for. That's my buy-in point for a steelbook. If I see a steelbook that I want, I'll wait until it gets to $10, and that's when I'll jump on it. And you know what? That's kind of what I did in this case. I did unintentionally so. I was willing to get any version of Cocoon that I could get. It just so happened to be that the version that I got was the one that, like, I would have wished to be able to get, you know what I mean? And I got it for a great deal. So, yeah, and it's in good condition. They didn't bang it up on its way over here, and I just watched it. I couldn't wait, because the last time I saw this movie was when I was a kid. So I had very little recollection of it at all, except for liking it, you know. So I really wanted to see it again, you know. And that's why, like, the second it came in today, I'm just like, I'm watching that tonight. And it's exactly what I did, and had a blast. It's still a very good movie. I don't know why it doesn't get the respect release-wise that maybe it deserves. But it's worth noting here, as you look at the inside cover and artwork. Let me see, where is it? There it is. ABC. Now, I am not entirely correct, or I'm not entirely correct about anything. I'm stupid. But I'm not entirely sure. I think that means this is region free. I think that means it plays on region A, region B, and region C. We in the US are region A, so if that means you can play it on region A players, then people in the US should be able to play this no problem. But I don't know if that's exactly what that means, so don't take my word for it exactly. Look it up yourself, but I'm pretty sure that means that it's region free. So that would mean that you don't even need a region free player to play it. You can literally just get it and it'll work on your US player. I believe that's what that means. But don't quote me on it. And don't get mad if you buy it and then you can't watch it. Because I'm telling you, I think that's what that means, but I'm not sure. Regardless, very happy to have this in my collection now. It's something, like, I wasn't able to find it on DVD, didn't have it in my DVD collection, and I've been wanting it for quite some time, wanted to revisit it for quite some time, and, well, here we are. Finally have it, so very cool. The only problem, the reason that it was $10, I would say, one of the reasons it was $10, is because that's the only way the guy can sell it and get anybody to buy it when it takes a month or more to ship. I bought this a month ago, so it literally took a month to arrive, and I was worried it might not even ever arrive, obviously, because with things like this on Amazon, sometimes you never know. Sometimes they just take your money and run. Sometimes it was somebody who stole the account information of somebody else and used it to fool people into buying things that didn't even exist. You know what I mean? There are a lot of scammers out there who pull that trick. I was running a very real risk by trying this, but it was such a good deal, couldn't say no, and now I'm really glad that I took him up on that offer, because yes, it took a month to get here, but it's worth it. It was totally worth it. So then, about a week ago, I think, yeah, it was about a week ago, I got my gift card in from Amazon. So my gift card, I didn't have a lot of money on it this time around. It was one of those, like, I got lucky that I even got a gift card this month from Amazon. It was about 12, 13 bucks, something like that. And basically it was either enough to get 2 cheapo Blu-rays or 1 Blu-ray that I actually kind of wanted. So I went for the 1 Blu-ray that I actually kind of want option. And I actually got a brand new release, something that just came out, and that would be Whale Rider. Now, I have the DVD of this, and I know a lot of people are probably going to look at this and say, really? Really? But no, really. This is a fantastic movie. It's all about the people of the Maori culture in what is it, New Zealand, I believe. Yeah. And it's just a fantastic movie about that culture and about how that culture trying to change and become more modern in a world, in our modern world, you know what I mean? So they're trying to hold on to their heritage, they're trying to hold on to their history, not forget that history, pay respect to and reverence to that history, but they also want to become a more modern people, you know what I mean? And understand that some of the ways that they did things just aren't going to work anymore. So the way that they did that in this movie, the way that they kind of showed how that worked for this particular culture was really, really cool to me. I really loved it. I've actually done papers on this film. I've written papers on this film. So yeah, it's just a really fantastic movie. I've seen it in several film classes, I might add. So yeah, don't just assume that, oh, it's Whale Rider, it's Free Willy. It's not Free Willy. It's about 10 billion times better than Free Willy. Yeah, this comes with a few special features, nothing quite notable, but it's kind of a sparse selection of special features considering that it's a Shout Factory release. Shout Select to be specific, but you know, when you get Shout Select, sometimes that's the risk you run. Sometimes you're not going to get a whole lot of special features on there. And, well, that's one of the reasons I think it was probably as cheap as it was. It was down at like $12.50 or something like that for the brand new release. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons I took advantage of it. It just barely fit my gift card. I couldn't say no to that. I highly recommend watching this if you guys have not. This is just a fantastic movie. It gets shit on. People look at the poster art, the artwork here, and they say, oh, it's one of those stupid family films that's like trying to run off of Free Willy, right? Like, no. I know it's poorly advertised. I know it looks like that, but it's not that. You need to actually give this one a chance because it's actually worth your time. So, yeah, very cool movie. Very glad that Shout Factory decided to release this, even if it's just a Shout Select release. Very cool. And of course, comes with the slipcover. And then on the inside, you have some artwork as well. What? Sorry. Get this out of the way for you. Some artwork as well. That's pretty cool stuff. Ultimately, I'm very happy to now have this on Blu-ray. I never thought it was even going to get a Blu-ray release. It was one of those titles that it's just like, you know, if it did get a Blu-ray release, I figured it would either get a release from Criterion or Shout Factory, and lo and behold, Shout Factory. Now, I would have expected Criterion, actually, more than Shout Factory, because, like I said, I've seen this in film classes, and if it's that kind of a movie, if it's that kind of a movie, then typically it gets the kind of respect that you would expect to see from Criterion releases, but I guess it's not quite there yet. Maybe someday, but until then, I'll take a Shout Factory release. Very cool. The last pickup I got here from Amazon is something that I needed to fill out my collection because I want to say last month, I want to say like earlier this summer, maybe even in the spring, during one of my hauls from Half Price Books Outlet, I managed to find I think it was the 9th season of The Simpsons, and I had the first, maybe it was the 10th. I think it was either the 9th or 10th, okay? It's either the 9th or the 10th season, right? And I knew, well, shoot, the only one I'm missing now to fill in that gap from what I already had, I had up to season 7, right? And I knew I needed season 8. So, just like with Cocoon, I used the camel thing, and it notified me that this had gone down in price, and I found it for a really good price. Came to a total of, I think, $9 to $10, something like that. Actually, don't even think it was that much. I think it was like $8, but it was a much better price for a Simpsons DVD set than I have seen in quite some time, because when they announced that they were going to stop making Simpsons DVDs, suddenly like all the halfway decent sales you would find on these just out the window, because people realized they had something that was a little bit more valuable. There were still a lot of copies out there, but there weren't any more being made, So it became something where it was just like, ooh, I gotta hold on to this. Maybe it'll appreciate in value, or I'm gonna sell it for like a 10, 15, $20 price range instead of the $5 to $10 price range that it was going for before. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it became a little bit more difficult to find these, and I did want to increase my collection, but not by much, because I still don't really care about the older seasons. Not quite yet. Maybe at some point I'll just give in and say, screw it, I'm going to get those seasons too. But for now, I'm just happy to have the first, I want to say 10 or so seasons. I'm going to try and get at least the first 10 seasons, and then we'll see where I go from there. But yeah, glad to have the 8th season here, even if the case is a little beat up, like the artwork is a little beat up because it has the shiny crap on it, and that always scratched really easily. I mean, what are you going to do? It's not perfect, but it'll do the trick for me because I looked at the discs. The discs are all in fantastic condition. Comes with the insert. Perfectly fine. I mean, I would love if it were in mint condition. But I'm not as much of a stickler about that kind of stuff because, especially when it comes to DVD sets like this, because, you know, I am a collector, but I'm also a watcher. I get these things not just to collect, but to watch them. So as long as I can watch them and they're good condition and all that stuff, and I got a good deal on it, then I don't care if it's in pristine condition, you know what I mean? So I'll take it. $8, not too bad for this one. I think it was $8 at least. Anyways, that'll do it for me today. That's everything. I know you're seeing things back there. Those are actually my comedy, some of my comedy Blu-rays that I'm getting ready to put up on the shelf. I'm finally going to be putting things on the shelf. Oh my God. I know I'm lazy and blah. Well, there are reasons, alright? There are reasons that I haven't done it yet. Been cataloging my collection. I've been, you know, trying to figure out how I want to go about putting it on the shelf, and, you know, how I want to catalog it on the shelf, stuff like that. I've made my decision. I know what I'm going to do now, but, you know, it's still a matter of, like, pulling all the right movies out of the boxes, out of my boxes, and putting them on the shelf. But that means I have to go through all the boxes, dig around, and find the right movies, and, you know, that's what that stack is there for, because I was digging through all my boxes and finding the right movies and putting them there so that I could, you know, get ready to put them on the shelf. But, yeah, anyways, that will do it for me today. Thank you for watching, you guys. Catch you later. Peace.